So good evening, good afternoon all. So this is Shri Harini from LI Circle. Sorry. Making recycling green, clean and sustainable. At LI Circle, we focus on the direct recycling of lithium-ion batteries, in specific the LFP chemistry. So our aim is to make the recycling process a more sustainable one. About the team, so Mr. Santosh is the founder and he's a global lithium-ion battery supply chain expert. Myself, Shri Harini, I am a material science person and I head the technology and innovations for the company. We have been mentored by industrial veterans and scientists. We do have a strong supply chain office team working on the supply chain, logistics and the operations. So this is the market landscape. So in globally and India, there's an increasing lithium-ion battery demand. But in the given reference case, the best case, worst case, and the neutral case scenario, there's an assured growth in the lithium-ion battery supply chain. The problem statement which we are addressing is, apart from the growing lithium-ion battery demand and the availability of raw materials in it which can be recycled, do we have a sustainable recycling process? So whatever we do, is it viable? We conventionally do the hydrometallurgy, which is using a large amount of harsh chemicals in it, large water consumption, the carbon emitted with the pre-processing and is a lot. And even it is also capex and opex heavy. So the question is, we are doing refining, but is that a sustainable solution which can be used in future? So that is something we are addressing. Our value, what we do is, currently we collect lithium-ion battery, end-of-life lithium-ion batteries and production scrap from cell manufacturers, battery manufacturers and other industrial OEM applications. And in our facility, we sort it and grade it. The one with good state of health goes for the secondary applications, while the rest is being scrapped out. So the dead batteries, we have an in-house design 7-stage mechanical processing setup in which we process the end-of-life batteries to get the black mass out. So the one traced in green shows our current operations, and the one in purple is our future operations, wherein we are working to convert the black mass into the raw materials for the cell manufacturing. So that is something we are working next on now. So the direct recycling, what is it and what we are doing? So when we take the LFP chemistries, right, it is not having the nickel and cobalt, which is of higher value. So doing the direct recycling will be the most viable fit to recycle the LFP chemistry. And we see there's a switch from the NMC to the LFP chemistry in all the electric vehicle and application. So that is one. And the products we get out of the direct recycling is the direct pre-cam and cam, that is the cathode active material, which can be used for the cell manufacturing. However, in the hydrometallurgy, right, we leach it out and we get the respective salts and sulfates. And this salts and sulfates is again processed to get the cathode active material for the cell manufacturing. So we are cutting it short by a direct recycling process. And the one unfair advantage we have is the processing cost for us is around 27% lesser than the conventional hydrometallurgy. And the economics, the technology, and also we do not use any harsh acids. The carbon emission is lesser, the water consumption is very minimal, and we have filed for patents in the same aspect as well. A little about us, we were incorporated in 2020 and we have an operational pilot scale plant running. We are one among the early movers in India to work in this recycling space, and we are aiming to operate around 50,000 metric ton per annum by the next 5 years. And this is some of our notable events and some of our achievements. Yeah, and thank you. Open for questions.
Any questions from the jury?
Yeah. So about the reverse logistics, I think one of the most challenging aspect and the falling prices of lithium. So how the unit economics works out in the case. So these are the two key questions I have.
So the unit economics for as in the entire process.
Because as you mentioned, it moves from NMC, which has a higher pricing, to LFP, where it's like commoditized, and the price of lithium is also falling. If you take past 1 year, it has fallen down by 40%, 30 to 40. So in that case, how does your unit economics work? And it's a factor of how much you collect, the tonnage.
Yes.
If I remember correctly, it's 15,000 tons per month or so per annum. So the reverse logistics, where do you collect? That also becomes a
So we are connected with cell manufacturers and battery manufacturers like TVS, Exide, Ola, and other consumer electronics as well. So we over 5 years we have maintained a good supply chain. So we do get the collection. It's again a mass-based industry. It's a volume-based industry. So the more volume we do, the more profits we generate. Yeah.
But at the same time, the lithium commodity, if you recycle lithium, the commodity price also keeps falling down. How do you account for that? Unless you have
So that's why we are focusing the direct recycling. I told, right, when you do the salts and then it's a double stage process, I would say. So we are cutting it down to single stage, and that's why the processing cost is something we can really work on, because the market, we cannot control it, but the processing cost is something we can always work on in our side. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir. 98 to 99% purity we are aiming for the battery grade. So we aim the battery grade purity. And for the iron phosphate, even if it is of not greater purity, we have other applications like the fertilizers and etc. for the other pre-chem of LFP. Like even if it's not of that purity, there are other industries which are okay to take it in a lesser cost and low purity.
Okay, I'll recuse myself as I mentor them.
Yeah.
Can we have one last question so we can wrap up?
You mentioned the direct recycling is at TRL 6, but then also the process cost of 63 rupees. So given the TRL you're at, how are you able to project to that particular process cost?
We are optimizing, and that's number we have, right? Like we just want to forecast and see what we'll be able to deliver, right? We didn't want to project something higher. So we are working parallelly on the process cost and etc. It's a forecast.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.